Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about why maybe now is not a good time to buy a house unless you have the 3 things that we're going to talk about in this video. So let's get right to it. Welcome back to another real estate video, y'all. My name is Shari Hensley and I'm a realtor living and working right here on Galveston Bay. If this is your first time to this channel and you want to know everything about living in Galveston, well, boy, are you in the right place. Today, we're going to talk about the 3 things you must have before you buy a home in today's market. I gotta be honest, right now is definitely a time to be cautious in the housing market and mortgage market. We're seeing inflation continuing to rise. We're seeing the feds come out and adjust the Fed's fund rate at the same time interest rates are continuing to rise. We're hearing of home buyers backing out of contracts, and we're seeing builders' homes sitting on the market longer. Home prices in some areas are declining. It's everywhere, and those are reasons to be cautious, but at the same time, those are not reasons that you shouldn't buy a house. Buying a house isn't about timing the market, it's about time in the market, and it's about buying when the time is right for you. So in today's video, I want to spend a little bit of time and talk about some of these things, so as a potential home buyer out there, you can make the right decision for yourself. My goal with this channel is not to get you to buy anything. My goal is to inform you and to educate you so that you can make the right decisions for yourself at the moment. There are a lot of people on YouTube and other media platforms telling you not to buy real estate because it's going to crash by 20 or 30%, when in all reality, you're likely to see some home prices decline, but not significantly. In some markets, you're going to see more of a sideways movement, and in other markets, you might see home prices move down 10% or so. But at the same time, you have to understand where we came from prior to 2020. The average appreciation in homes on a yearly basis was around 4.5–5% nationwide. And that's going back nearly 65 years. And then during 2020 and 2021 and the first quarter of 2020, we saw appreciation somewhere between 35 and 40% for many markets out there, especially places like Denver, Austin, Seattle, San Francisco. So we really got far away from that 4.5–5% trend that I mentioned just a moment ago. During this time, inflation was getting out of control. There was a lot of money pumped into the economy by stimulus, and with the Fed buying mortgage securities and treasury bonds and taking interest rates below 3% for many well-qualified buyers out there. So there's just a lot of money in the economy. Well, when that money got spent, inflation went high, we had supply constraint issues, and we've got all of these things happening all at one time. Well, everybody has short memories, and while all of this is going on, a lot of people were getting priced out of the housing market for one reason or another. Now, this creates scary times when renters are having to pay 10–15% more on their rent than just a year ago, and home buyers are buying property, 20–25% more than it was just a couple of years ago. I gotta tell you, that's scary, especially for those that are in the market, and oftentimes those people are wondering, man, am I ever going to be able to afford to buy a home? And quite frankly, those are the people that are out there touting a housing market crash. Those people that have been priced out of the market. Those people that are scared out of the market. And then you also have those that are actually making money off spreading stuff like this in the market. Believe it or not, spreading fear actually pays really well, especially on platforms like YouTube, because fear drives views and views drive dollars. And so the more views you get on crash style videos, the more money someone's going to make. And in turn, more people see that and want to reproduce it and do the same thing and make the same amount of money. So then you have a lot of people making those same style videos just to get paid, when in all reality, the market is moving back to a more normal, balanced market. Now, I know when people hear me say a normal market, they say, Shari, come on, this market is anything but normal. with interest rates rising, homes sitting on the market, price drops happening. Really? Hey y'all, understand all of those things I just mentioned typically happen in a normal market. Maybe they don't happen as fast as they've happened this year with interest rates nearly doubling in a few months, which has really put the brakes on demand in the market, causing homes to sit on the market a little longer. But at the same time, just because demand has slowed doesn't mean homes have to crash. In fact, you need two things to happen in order for homes to crash. And at the moment, we don't have either one of them. The first thing you need is excess inventory. You need a lot of homes coming on the market. And just recently, we saw inventory stall and start to pull back. And on top of that, you need to have a lot of distressed sales. People that don't have equity in their property. At the moment, you have neither of these. You don't have excess inventory and you don't have a lot of distressed sales. So the likelihood of a market crash happening is probably near zero. What you're more likely to see is home prices continue to pull back. Homes probably sell closer to where they were selling at the end of 2021. Now, homes did go up a lot in the first quarter, but I could see that part of the market was the last run-up with regards to that appreciation. Homes that are selling now are probably selling closer to the time before we saw that last bit of run-up, which means that you might see a home sell for more or less, depending on where it's located and the condition. But that in no way means a housing crash is coming. But if you're considering buying in this market, there are three things you absolutely have to have. The first one is a longer time horizon. Because of all these things I just mentioned, you need to be thinking about 5, 7, 9 years out from now. And that's not because I believe a crash is coming, y'all. Like I mentioned just a few minutes ago in the video, it's more because I think home prices can move sideways, maybe even down in some markets for an extended period of time because we're catching up, y'all. We need to get that closer to that trend of appreciation that we've been talking about earlier in the video. Y'all, please like, subscribe, and comment. Tell me where you want to move and why. Number 2, the second thing you absolutely have to have is money in the bank. You should not be using every dollar you have to buy a property. You know, if it takes all your money for the down payment and the closing costs, I'd recommend not buying a property until you have some money in reserves. You need that emergency fund. You know, the financial guru Dave Ramsey talks about. You need to have some additional money just in case something does happen. What happens if you lose your job? What happens if your spouse loses their job and you lose one of your income? You need to be able to have some money to continue making that payment if things change at all. Number 3, the last thing is you need to not be stretching yourself. You don't want every single dollar of your monthly income going towards a housing payment, even if you qualify for it. Now, oftentimes I know home buyers have other jobs, other incomes that they're reporting, and therefore they're able to stretch that debt to income ratio out. But your finances, you need to create a budget. It's difficult to work 2 or 3 jobs long term. Trust me, I've done it. You don't want to be house rich and cash poor. Have a goal, have a plan, and work the plan to achieve the goal. Now, I want to be super clear on this video. I'm super bullish on housing. I know it creates long term. I know the generational wealth it can create for a family. The stability it can create for you and your family, all the positive things it can do. So when I say don't buy a house, I'm not trying to dissuade you from buying a property. I'm just trying to make sure that you have these things in mind so that it's something you consider when making that decision. Also, the reason I'm so passionate about education in a fun and informative way, if you have gotten some value out of this video, smash that subscribe button and you'll get notified every time we put up a new video. All the 3 things that I mentioned in this video, I've seen others make these mistakes. I've seen them lose money doing it. Contact me for a personal consultation and we can discuss a strategic plan for your home or vacation home dreams. If you enjoyed this video, you're really gonna love the next one.